President of the United States, holding a leash, the Prime Minister of Israel with a big nose. I know personally that Prime Minister does not have a big nose, but with a big nose, with the Star of David around his neck. This is the worst kind of anti-Semitism imaginable. Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! He needs to be more understanding. By the way, the New York Times says the president shouldn't use certain language. Right? That's what the New York Times has been talking about for years.
It's very painful for me. It's personally very painful for me. I have written many, many dozens of articles for the New York Times. I have probably written more legally oriented op-eds perhaps than anyone else who doesn't work for the New York Times. I have been in the book review. I have been in the magazine. I've been in the art section. I have been a strong supporter of the New York Times. But when I saw that cartoon yesterday, it just put me in mind of a very dark time in Jewish history, and I asked myself, how could it have happened? The First Amendment gives the New York Times that right to be wrong, and I always defend everybody's First Amendment rights, but the New York Times has been wrong so often when it comes to Israel, when it comes to the Jewish people. The only good thing the New York Times has ever done for the Jewish people is it put the lie to the notion that Jews control the media and use it to support their own interests.
Reporting and editorializing. It has done two terrible things. One, it came up with this new concept called news analysis, which is an extract. Take a look to the right now. These are the people that perpetuated day in and day out for 70, 80, 90 years. Listen, I can deal with the political party of Scientific, okay? They don't like Donald Trump. Why do they like him? What is it was wrong with him?
The cartoon is trying to give the information, basically the message that the Jews control the world. They control the most powerful president on the face of the earth in our time, but they're also their dogs, and so it's a very, very negative cartoon.
Shock, disbelief, like waking up from a bad dream. It can't be. Not the New York Times, the most progressive liberal newspaper in the world, one of the maybe the greatest paper in the world, indulging in pure, unadulterated anti-Semitism, vile anti-Semitism. Now, they've been doing this for a long time, but this time we caught them with their pants down. They actually printed this cartoon. I mean, it is vile. I mean, the President of the United States with his yarmulke, Prime Minister, dog, all the symbols. And even initially, they didn't apologize, like, oh my God, let us explain. Where is their transparency? They talk about the President transparency. Okay, I'm for transparency. They're full of crap. They're full of it.
Do you think if they had removed the religious symbolism from that cartoon, it would have been any less offensive?
Having appeared,
I don't think that cartoon was appropriate under any circumstance. I think that it was deliberately done to demonize President Trump, the United States of America, instead of Israel.
It was blatantly the way how they had their facial features. Everything else was an attack. It was an anti-Semitic trope. It was horrible. There needs to be repercussions for their actions. I'm sorry, it does not cover it.
The person responsible should not be working at the New York Times. Clearly that person has horrible judgment. I mean, and also they need to apologize. Isn't that what they want the president to do? Don't they want the president to apologize for 44 different things? Well, let them apologize to the Prime Minister of Israel, President of the United States, and I want a freaking apology. I'm a Jew. I represented a community of Holocaust survivors for 36 years. Do you know what kind of pain this causes for those people, for that community?
Writer, virtually every editorial has come into existence until the Romans captured the area well after the death of Jesus.
And still in the committee, mind you, still in that committee, like, Cortez.
Cartoon rise to the level that it did, unchecked. It just doesn't happen. It just does not happen.